enti se wa check Inter Milan for Jenina so far omo fe bali ato a Inter for so e deserve sa credit no enti the first thing two teams no me ball mabaso by kid se PSG for timidi trophy na e be change a lot of things for PSG oma write a new history on its own e wo PSG boboku ni se oko France the only team a wetimi win UEFA Champions League e Olympique du Marseille in 1993 for 32 good years nie PSG and answer a French club NG UEFA Champions League ni bida so say ne team a French PSG etimi UEFA Champions League na 32 years a yenya a French club say all dominating UEFA Champions League no PSG for apepa saade no ana sa oko France PSG for a dominating France omo domestic competition ni nyina but there ba ko PSG entimi ngibi UEFA Champions League enti omo main rival a oni omo compete with France Olympique du Marseille anytime bia Olympique du Marseille supporters any omo team no etimi etro PSG for ehuru omo say ma dominate bibia mu discover be rabo boku no ma bibia wo France na Europe na ye important mu ntimi ngiye so se PSG for timi sa age sa kuruwa na ekwan ya myself for efa so ehuru PSG no saade no so apepa enti PSG for ne person mo write a new history ne so mutimi di UEFA Champions League and the target any team a friend say PSG katafo ndi omusika be wrem no mo target ne yesi ye be dominate France ye dominate France we are near about Europe aba be the ultimate so far oma dominate France French Ligue 1 PSG na dominate ya akade ba akopɛ na katafo ne hwehwɛ that's the UEFA Champions League enti se PSG for it me ya eje ene UEFA Champions League na Oma write history for themselves. Oma change PSG bobuko no and Oma je abra Oma nyusu top stars because na PSG for him say Oma betimi discard to players we wiase nyina na Oma dominate Europe by sa players nyina ba PSG no Oma ntimi amba mbeje by ene hwe the kind of players Oma de akọ UEFA Champions League final hopefully Oma betima je enti so Oma je a PSG for a new history on its own e de am Oma bobuko no se ukọ Inter Milan so a 15 good years nye yenya any Italian club are all left the ultimate ewo Europe. The last time the same Inter Milan was Santiago Bernabeu against Bayern. Inter for a trial recently omo final against Manchester City and lose ye. And it's also to me winia. That's the reason why your story yenya AC Milan penya or support to Inter because Inter for to me dia yenya Italian club after 15 years obabeji the ultimate the UEFA Champions League and obiabo Inter Milan for abaso this season say bono oma so ani Inter Milan for ntimi anwini aken onim se league wa ntimi anje Coppa Italia wa ntimi anje Super Coppa Italia wa ntimi anje enti say UEFA Champions League ne sabo Inter Milan bo bokuo na it means say Inter Milan season ni nyina no ebra omo breye ene ball mabo ni nyina no omo ntimi nya trophy bia enti trophy omo ya ben ho kese pa no eye UEFA Champions League enti eni game no ye benya two clubs a wa be wini bia no history na obe make ene no ebeko a long way ansa no bia be paper na ye nwra game ni two coaches eye me de initially you can say wo de ohu game changes ni say ye two coaches no Luis Enrique Simone Inzaghi. These are two coaches are omunimde omuti football ase omuwa proper principles omuwa proper philosophy a omudi eru omutim enti two coaches no omobani nyina no eye coaches a obia woni unique style or they back on the field of play so ufa papa e friend say Luis Enrique a obefa PSG bobuku no wasesa nioma bebre enkofo no muni gidie wo PSG team we mu by say Luis Enrique asesa nioma enken papa ne befa PSG bobuku no okra 7 key elements ano dia be PSG team nim ano asesa PSG Luis Enrique no 7 key elements ano dia asesa PSG bobuku no the first element a possession wama PSG for ne ebobo a efe enti uko Europa yes this season teams are omobobo a efe no Barcelona bobi PSG ebobi enti the first element a Luis Enrique dia be PSG bobuku nim no a possession. The second element say omo press very well using the pressing trigger enti se watch keep PSG bobuku na omo press very well and the second element. The third element is fluidity and dynamism. And the PSG bobukunim. The fourth element is attacking channels. The fifth element is the wide play. Sixth element is positional flexibility. And the seventh element is direct movement. When the 7 key elements are Luis Enrique and the PSG bobukunim. And to say, oh, PSG. Before so bit must stop your mono, and what's so 7 key elements that say PSG and the Luis Enrique use. And now call a papa friend says Simone Inzaghi. On also do use no, on no up a compactness, up a low build up, or use constant rotation, no use transition because or a defensive oriented coach. And the two coaches, or be a unique star, back up a boy, a control game. Baako pese o defend o containing opponent or retaining compactness. Now we use to transition at the B2. And to be a net obeshe game ni bi wa beba P2 land no. Ken a 2 different style ye be witness it. Ye be witness a reactive approach and a proactive approach. And a bono ye be kwa no. Ye be witness a reactive approach versus a proactive approach. Ye benya PSG obenya control. Obenya possession, olusu ba, obe press, obe try so bobo ba efe, and ye proactive approach a PSG be use. And ye benya Inter Milan obe use reactive approach, obe try so be defend it, obe adjust any tactics, no more punish PSG for no at the time on any gamer and ye be witness. So a ye proactive versus reactive approach and in ye be witness. Now obi osho mi biano, me be bo game no wa ha say and sample kra na nwumre, ya witness the main game. Ken PSG on paper, Luis Enrique be use a standard formation 4-3-3, and only a standard formation on paper. Name and I'm say benya more control, and I'm say dominate play no. Say attack here, use 4 back, than 3 back. Mostly, ye benya Marquinhos, Pacho, and Nuno Mendes, and attack here for me the back 3. Now Brandt friend say Vitinha, I will pretty as a deep lying playmaker. And Vitinha ebe jina defensive line enim. No, and ebe control the fluidity of the game. Ono na ebe directive play. Ono na ebe make sure say obey the tempo setter. Right. Ye Asharaf na obo as a right back no. E movie or mostly o invert. Say o invert ya oba be come midfielders na ho. So PSG for anytime you be attack biano in the midfield obenya Vitinha. Ubenya Abrante friend say Joao Neves, Ubenya Fabian Ruiz, no about Benya Abrante friend say Hakimi Ashraf, or more per numbers in the midfield because or per central control or per central numerical advantage. So PSG for anytime you abesho mubiano, and I'm say omo peso omu crab on eche, and I'm say omo passable on the mono, and what's the Otiminia sa central control, and every football clubber or believe in possession football biano or per central control. And the first thing you get from PSG under Luis Enrique is central control. Ni players me so mu de nim ho most likely some be sha ase ene no Kvaratskhelia, Dembele and Doué strikerless system. PSG a typical number 9 bench Gonzalo Ramos by Onyusu strikerless system enti front three ni nyina obi eniwa obetimi ama sa boss presence obetimi operate as a typical number 9 at the cruncher Luis Enrique sa de ne say ope fluidity and interpositional change. Dembele engineer baby faako. Kvaratskhelia engineer baby faako. Doué engineer baby faako. Enti se ukoshia PSG boboko na uye opponent team a untimi nyaman mark. Dembele ebe drop ya deep, obe moving to channels, obe call left, obe call right. Doué the same thing, Kvaratskhelia the same thing. So the moment Abe try say obe man mark you mono, o short with defensive line no, o ma defensive line stretch and ebe off. So anytime be about ko share PSG attack ni biano, omutimi easily omutimi extend the pressure. So o check PSG a omo attack better. Omo attack a omo hu ehu. Eto de bi mpokra na coach e friend say Luis Enrique se san nsa no. Otimi ma Hakimi Ashraf and Nuno Mendes act as the shell forward. Shell forward in a sense say sa 2 players no me right back left back no. Omo na ball occupy the wide area. Na ama Brandt friend say Fabian Ruiz and Joao Neves etimi operate as the half space invaders. And it's our 2 players never acting as box to box. Na oma koka Dembele, Kvaratskhelia and Doué and asa Bakola na beshasia. So ukosia PSG again. Almost strength is about attacking, holding the ball, controlling the game. PSG attack better. And the idea bako was say Inter Milan for you very careful. And then you run here how betima contain PSG for attack because the offer PSG again 9% of omu goals or match no eba inside the 6-yard box. Omu ye team back every area, every angle omu timi gina go. So se o check omu short zones na 9% of omu goals no eba ewo the 6-yard box nim baby a opponent ni goalkeeper ni gina no. Then 61% eba the 18-yard box nim. And the majority of omu goals no around the 18-yard box and 31% outside the penalty box. And to ukosia PSG inside goalkeepers in the penalty area, goalkeeper in the box no omu go. 18-yard box omu go. Outside the box omu go. A team every angle, every channel, every zone omu timi gina go. Omu strength is about scoring. And to prove further, UEFA Champions League na yebono. Teams omu bo ni nyina no. The when most attempt to score PSG. Yes, Champions League na se besine. The waiting most attempt to score 300 attempts PSG bobuku no. The when most attempt on targets PSG 111. So we Barcelona free wa Barca 43 goals. The next team awashe go 33. Team my friend say PSG. So PSG strength is about holding the ball, creating, scoring. The entire season we about 57 games was 147 goals. Omu goals share. Omunim kriti, omunim atake.
Bastoni ne achebe mo, pavade mo, ene. Ewechiro, kwan be no be faso betime handle some players na. Many Mr. Coach ne bebo Dimako dia. But a final.
A final.
Oba Dimako na bo. This a year back for. Obedo no ma handle some boys no.
Medasi. Ken, se ukoshia PSG because of attacking dynamism and fluidity. Untimi nkoye mama te said ye na wo ye Barcelona de ye no ye use coaches beka sure say ukoshia PSG bobuko na because say easily omutimi extend the pressure no ye use positional oriented zonal marking. Position oriented zonal marking no as a training na ye say the reference point ye say 10 bia no u position and spaces ye make sure say ye jaho u focus any reference point any player no kra ball no. Because we focus ekoye Dembele, we focus ekoye Doué, we focus ekoye Kvaratskhelia. On jina baby fa ko say we be eliminating out of the game. And you focus no the position oriented zonal marking. And to make sure say the position oriented zonal marking be ye adwuma no. E was say the team defensive shape intact. Ukosia PSG check it teams betimi ache PSG. Teams o mama PSG tough time. Teams are omo defensive shape no en lose.
Yeah, we PSG attack and but me Marquinhos and the Pacho Hakimi and no Mendes almost four said you defend better why Marquinhos then no Mendes Pacho Ayakakra Hakimi Ayakakra again Lautaro Martinez ne Thuram Ayedanya Bakubenya go those two players no omo say chances be break PSG yeah come more attack they want to see ball no but omo back no worry.
Yes,
because omo concede goals.
PSG on say you team be brain ko amofa so defend. Se ukoshia
Thuram ne Lautaro mo.
Ukoshia Inter Milan on be na adwen say obe press o opponent ne half. Or try say obe draw the players e one kasa have to prevent you from exploiting spaces. But in the case of PSG, so omo defend ya say omo defensive shape e be ye Inter how on be react to omo pressing. Luis Enrique a student of Johan Cruyff. And omo student of you and Cruyff ni nyina omo defend ya omo try say omo city deep omo try say omo use omo front line to press you first. So say and PSG for defensive shape e be ye Inter game against Liverpool. At the time we are the pressure by no check how on the front line no e be cover the defensive line. On say ni Nuno Mendes etimi Ed Mohamed Salah se ni boto. By nkofo en credit Kvaratskhelia how or drop e be man Nuno Mendes defensive cover. Now earlier on our submission now we say Hakimi Ashraf e join the attack and woni a week. So PSG for a bit ma sustain Hakimi Ashraf the Obama defensive cover a key. Pacho a very good at all performing this season. Bonyan grow to that top level. Hakimi Ashraf offensively excellent, but defensively or tie edge spaces. Ne dey na quiet say Arnold Mola ni bi. Nuno Mendes na beka say Ojina hwa obetima marquee player out of the game. And the PSG for backline ni nyina enye backline na beka some out defensive solidity.
So big man like here to Ram, ya ball long one because they do baby PSG press and as on press say on press more say intercol long.
Yeah.
And intercol long, I don't be located here. Turam. Na a year later, found. Maybe Pacho and Makinos.
Coaching be use baako. Set time be appear interphone be use long boss no. And what say? Omo cover.
Mama you know why na soko.
O meko for Makinos say obeko for stadium. So you most likely say Inter Milan for air call long to locate Turam. Not Turam apeke the first ball. Not then Abrante Fence Lautaro Martinez apeke the second ball. Be use Abrante Fence Marquinhos say obeko for Turam. But in terms of physicality, such striker and as a full line player, and you soon the upper body strength in the very one. Who say Turam yes adieno? Watch your game against Barcelona. No one used to Turam say obeyes adieno. And mostly na Inigo Martinez na cover. And a chim program ko be and say omu go on program say no. Omu use the same approach, long ball and omu fleky ball no. And some program a mistake neighbor ragu man say. So PSG for no and Interfobe use the same approach because Interfone and try to be quick ball no. But there back Inter Milan for susu hu pa no e your transitions e ya na e ka omo attack bebre by omo break attack bia na omo nyina so nche
omo create chance
anytime bia bon say Inter a break attack no or Dimarco on the left wing and or Danzel on the right wing say Danzel on so confidence na wa picking was so wa picking confidence be and I say in terms of creativity and influence game no this season at our knockout stage in Pokra no or ye beat Dimarco
Dan Fresh,
no.
I think so. Inter best player this season.
This season will perform very well in big games or dominating.
Only no Mendes a better in the past.
But I want to say advantage kakra. Emma the Abema PSG for a fullbacks no mum brebe brain say Inter use natural wingers. Use natural wingers. But Ken on paper may ye fair as an analyst. PSG was slight advantage. PSG was slight advantage.
Okay.
The last time Bayern Stadium ni hosti UEFA Champions League final, yenya a new winner in the shape of Chelsea.
Yes, hosti beam.
Yes, hosti beam. History be repeated.
New winner beam.
History be by deep inside me. Say me nkasa as an analyst too. Say me ye fair as an analyst on paper who analyze here PSG for no. Oh that slight. Was our advantage, no. By deep inside me possess Simone Inzaghi just a trophy with mama. But dear King here pano Champions League final. Coach is in the tactics be juma. Moments deciders.
Edu key. You be and the anadri. Yemfa and no NCO.
Trend, no. So there's a screenshot before and ye baby close. Nipa to abani 353,024 votes. If I say let's over 353,000 and a tuaba. But so check here give the mame. Mbappe owini yeno onya 46.9% of the vote
on the fans
of the fans.
Can't want him CCA.
Lamine enya 36.4. This is a screenshot rightly before Yebabe close. Shadie Lamine Yamal enya 36 no. Share Hafinya unya 5%, 5.5%. Lewandowski 0.4. Ne bemwa na wasan so aba be share Pedri 8.1. Inti Lamine could not win because Barcelona vote no it was spread across. Na nkomo a me kan die esisu dia say
nti oboso koto aba na say Pedri ade a chen Rafinha ese die nipa kura bato kura sem kura
no but on say some catch us say Rafinha ne die Barcelona for no move you I'm telling you but me person me can say last year one of the thing that
so they can and no fans we are fans no main one no so no about one koso
fans some the main one no on being cooperative coaches ni player voting near there but the amount this is very important. So last year Vinicius could not win the Ballon d'Or because na Madrid projected place miensa me can the sisu dia say this paints a picture say Barcelona should be very careful. Because
Ballon d'Or best
spread of votes in the how because clearly me share voting parts no Madrid voted solely for Kylian Mbappe. We can kind of the Vinicius Junior will do 1% impo. Jude Bellingham will do 1% impo. But I'll check it. Lamine Yamal onya 36.7 now. Rafinha onya 5.5. Pedri 8. So we just have votes in him even 50% at the top. Lamine Sodiana, he's good to go. Okay. It's something that they should be very careful about it. Ken, if there is a team I was say you show sympathy to them a PAG for. I know say Inter Milan do not spend that much. Omunye club a 30 sika kese kofa player. Exempt Lukaku deal no omu ye no. Almost the free unknown player and omo dia bo Champions League. This is the second Champions League finals in 2 years. Inti se impa who says okay, let's sympathize with them and say let's Inter Milan win the Champions League. But France PAG omo bre. Inti min koba say ya bought Champions League from 1956. Spanish teams are the Champions League maku 20. English teams are the 15 times. Italian teams are the 12 times. German teams are the 8 times. Netherlands are just 6. Portugal impo are the 4. France. Share of mine France and then the kind of football players they have produced and the teams they have produced. No matter one pay, I embarrass. So France as a nation, yaka European top 5 leagues, I had one can whoa. Now what the Champions League won. It goes beyond embarrassment. It is not as if they don't buy players. Sa Paris Saint-Germain team way at some point in time, enya Neymar, nya Messi, nya Kylian Mbappe. Show me 3 players are away more na a wedding. Even Madrid BBC money at the end no. Ken, you bet me the Atoto, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. So it is not as if they don't buy players, they have players. Yet they are unable to give out numbers. It is a petit member sympathizing with them. It can make us a PhD because of my bread. Look, Afi, a deliberate to say France as a nation, a pushy PhD to win it.
Only Marseille.
Some who say Marseille for no more stubborn. Na canton na papa penyi mutimi enra akwahye Inter Milan Jesse the namoye omonti ase. But ade no a good France animu ase o. So much the Champions League back. France needs to win the Champions League again. And you must.
Say 15 years in Italy.
Now we're so 32 years is so
a big country. But because you do baby na omodia. Tamana is similar dominant.
Now Italy ajema kuma 12. Na France aje baako.
Italy aje 12, England aje 15.
15 and Spain aje 20.
Even recently na England for crowd beside Italy.
Aye. It came a point in say no. The last
Spain 20 no. Madrid 15, Barca 5.
Emphasis on that.
15-5
But me, what's interest me is say the last time at France AGB, yeah, Bono Olympia Stadium, Munchen.
Okay.
Germany.
Abedi Pelemo.
Basebo le go no. And the France AG today we are playing it.
The same stadium.
The same. Make us a stadium crowd. The same town.
The same town. Okay. So Oma be alliance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think say, and no in crying. Say bibi betimi si e de ama Paris Saint-Germain.
And I kwame so edit to just say the last time I Bobby was at stadium no. Yenya new winner.
Aye.
Oh Munich.
Normally
Chelsea.
Exactly. Normally Munich dey am I a new winners.
Okay.
And P Munich am I new winners. But let me tell you something. Say, Ada Yako ball Champions League final El Kiev 2018. Real Madrid share Liverpool 3-1. You bought 6 Champions League games. 6 no. Marco 4 ended in 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. Nyenu 2-0.
The last 6.
The last 6.
Champions League finals.
Aye. 1-0 Marco 4. And a 2-0 Marco. A 2 pay. The chance for each now say ayana a very, very close games. Because the last 6 are yabono. So obi your best first goal no on edge. Remember what I say? Because I 1-0, 1-0, 2-0. Into your best first goal no on ayana edge Champions League no. Because in the finals a game one obi abe give chances to be asa. Look, even 2-0 now it's twice no. Look, for instance, and I know I call ball Madrid in the Dortmund no. Madrid games goes there by time bay. About late in the game. Liverpool Esha Tottenham. Divock Origi go never time by about around by 87th minutes. Into even 2-0 no crano. The last goal comes very, very late. Into just say these are tight games, sir. So one more opponents Esha one as someone two.
Your first goal Biaji.
At least the last 6 games. Nti yeah, ma crying for chances. Afi, let's go into the game in details. Na yebon komoken. No kwase me home ni say. PSG for no, they play good football. But they have a problem. That is why it looks like a Donnarumma and a PSG team. Metasha PSG games, I get excited how they transit. Omoje ball, no the ball ne ekwa efe. Uti mu say passes no ekọ. PSG team wa Hakimi has and Nuno Mendes fullbacks no operate very well. But the problem they say anytime PSG enjoy possession, concede chances pa. Exactly because they have a right back who feels to say as a so numbers even more than the number 9. Hakimi. But it is too much. See, Marquinhos has been ordinary in the last 2 years because time will be he is overworking. Debi assassin the Jumana say Hakimi timi kwa no akwa question number 9. It's yet so much here. Marquinhos is supposed to operate as a number 2 and also operate as a number 5.
Ever side defensive for you, what can one say? The one player be Adrian man. Sa Fabian Ruiz, you know. Oh yeah, Juma pa. Coach didn't hear Juma pa. Oh yeah, Juma. Since they say no, I've told you say PSG for no more shots in Yemeni bebre. It's Fabian Ruiz in defensively very strong and or sound so. It's at least it helps. It's normally PSG for night to say Esansa Hakimi defensively on Shadanya de Bebrebesano and until no more a transitioner and as some build up or more build it up in a 3-2 Nuno Mendes no crano or come Marquinhos ni William Pacho no. Nuno Mendes is also one guy who always loves to go forward. It's a yes in the attacking phase. Hakimi provided 8 goal involvement. I understand. Nuno Mendes 5 goal involvement. It's when they are attacking, they are excellent. But skin, Shadia, and no more monitor game. No, after 60 minutes, Nafe Hakimi started say bra. Nafe PSG started conceding chances left, right, center. Sa zone move on and a Donnarumma account for pa. But my point is that about say Inter left, you know. Inter left side, and what do you know?
Inter left, Dimarco. Oh, Dimarco no Ken. Say you know him.
But that's in the form. Then it's a Dumfries. Inter right, I'm more right on. I'm more.
Bebre.
HN left you.
Last 2 years. I'm Manchester City bono. Now left one didn't change Dumfries.
Dumfries, oh yeah.
But Dimarco no, we all know why because injuries and a boy no. And Agosto no so but all the Dimarco factor. But Ken, let me tell you something. This year, Champions League, Inter Milan for fullbacks, you know. Obien wa wire crosses, ashe go chain omu 10. Afi. Team bien one fullback and more crosses a chain Inter Milan for no. In any case, in the semi-finals against Barcelona, 6 goals are Inter Milan share. 5 of them, na fullbacks near involved. It's Inter Milan fullbacks don't we dangerous, very very dangerous. It's a necran. These are 2 teams are almost drives, you know. Way they are fullback, way so they are fullback. So a big game of fullbacks because Hakimi, his strength is not to defend; he will go forward. DiMarco will also love to attack.
Yanjo Fabian Rose Vitina and João Neves Ewan Finfino against Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Henry Mkhitaryan and Nicolo Barella.
Mkhitaryan is about 36 if I'm right. When you Çalhanoğlu a little 30. Ken
Çalhanoğlu bro 30
little. Only baby. Mkhitaryan is senior man. That's an say. It's a game near transitional bebria. A PhD for never suffer. So for make a transitional bebria, just say, born wage, born on the way the born equashet. No way so is watch it, no way so the born equashet. Sa type of play no. Ubi enemy, your name, they have born a pie Inter Milan. Because Inter Milan can be doing transitions still, not in proper shape, defensive shape, near right. But PAGA transitions back no more lose shape. No. Make the answer a question and say, look, the more PAG controls the game, the better for them. Why not they control neighbor? The control comes from Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz.
But interface team with that similar star that is Barcelona. So be control ball no ball no be do who be bring. But still I'm find a way to create chances.
Barcelona
there be make up Inter. Almost face team I just say PSG. Me and for Barcelona similar because PSG be person be control game no. On the Barca control game ni be bring. But still no munya chances.
Why munya chances?
Inter.
Okay, my two.
No ball on our control game no. But still no munya chances. On benya chances and omo ball ni be bring. But still no more create chances.
So in the Barcelona example you
so
gave.
So omo possess here. About PSG possess here. I just say with Inter, we Inter fan we see.
No, but Ken.
Because omo bia.
So the point is that team will be our strengths. There are teams on the ball, ball kutanwa. There are teams off the ball, so ball in kutanwa and strengths. In see, it is not every time in a ball kutobia. Not Nipakono, HSA, he's doing well. Let me give you an example. If you are playing against teams like Barcelona, Manchester City, on the ball, off the ball, and you're more strength. Now, Inter Milan are one day off the ball. It is Inter Milan and Barcelona. Barcelona possess ball ni bebria. It does not mean Barcelona are more joining the game and some more controlling game. No, Inter are rather controlling Barcelona. Let me come back to your question. Inter Milan say who possess ball no only dangerous because if you lose a ball. Oh, pass it. No one passing in a body by the Inter Milan. They have the strength to do transition. And normally, Marcus Thuram, Ejidem, Eba, Oba, or flecky ball na second ball, no be call Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez, Efa baller, it goes straight to DiMarco or Desert and Freeze. It's against Barcelona. They allowed Barcelona to do the possession. But who possessing Bebreba? Remember, say, Afe, Akwaka 2 center backs, and probably 1 defensive midfielder. I am Yensa.
Okay.
But their transition, they will have 4 players in their transition. DiMarco, Dumfries, na Abola Taro Martinez, and Thuram. So Inter Milan panel. Instead of making say, Ken. Adi Bebo PAG say don't allow Inter Milan to score first goal because so many first goal they are deadly.
But almost share first Barca betting.
Ken, Inter Milan before the Barcelona game, no man consider one goal from open play. Yeah. Barcelona conversation is different. No, the whole of Europe, obetime breaking defense easily. Change Barcelona attackers. And yeah, for Barcelona conversation don't change. And yeah, we would defense how Barcelona into me breaking. But one other issue, set pieces. Inter Milan, we are dangerous. We slowed my PGO. Achebi Bastoni.
Achebi pa de sa Achebi boy just say we just o ma center line so crowd.
Senior there be says he said na on say onimrika tu. And now Oshen kwada ni mu. And then yan be say bia na wa mo.
Also person ma poverty.
No.
Poverty so feel of injury ba.